The finance and money secret to make your first million. How do you make your first million? You have to make your first 1,000, you make your first 10,000, you make your first 100,000, and it goes to $1 million. It's a doubles game. But how do you do that? The first thing to create your first million, say yes to anything positive. Percy says, I'm running a seminar. I need you to come and hold the camera for me. Yes, Percy, I'll be there. Not how much am I going to be paid. You get to work. Your boss sits there. It doesn't matter how old that person is. Make that person a cup of tea. That's yes. That's how you build relationships. Now, if you think you are a boss, money will treat you like a boss. And what normally happens in the boss's pockets? Nothing. So, say yes. The second thing that you need to do to make your first million is you need to specialize. Whatever that you do, specialize. Whether you're a teacher, be the best teacher. Know every single thing about teaching, your subject. Not you want to know about economics and you want to know about math and you want to know about history and you want to specialize. Be great at what you do. Every single environment that you are in, you can make money. And by the way, we are actually not making money. We are earning money. The only person who makes money is the guy that works in the mint. Everyone else earns money because everybody here, including me, including anyone, provides a service and then gets salary. That's why you never hear anyone saying, I'm going to make a salary. Because you don't make salaries, you earn salaries. You are going to provide a service and then you get a reward. That's earning. So you specialize. Hang around with the right people. Hang around with the right people. To make your first million, hang around with the right people. And when I mean the right people, know your weakness. You don't need to be great at perfecting your weakness. You are wasting your time. You must be great at perfecting what you are strong at, but be aware of your weakness. So my weakness is I'm very terrible at administration. So visionary, I can get things, I can picture things, and I'm a doer. I get things done. But I'm very bad at administration. So what do? I find somebody who's great at admin. Whether it's human capital, whether it's systems that you have to use, that's what you become. Right? So you surround yourself with the right people because your team, you've heard the saying, you're as good as your team. It depends on who you know to get to where you want to get to. So the who you know must be part of your team. So your industries, who are the influencers in your industry? You need to know them. Jot them down. Knock on your doors. Knock on those doors until somebody opens. So find the influencers. Whatever you are going to do, somebody has done it before and somebody is doing it better. Find that person. If you have to buy that person coffee, do that. Find that person. If you have to slide into somebody's DM, do that, but don't be a stalker. Find a better way of communicating with those people. There's always somebody there that is willing to help. You have to leverage, right? And leverage is doing more with less time. We all have 24 hours. And if you are going to sit down and do everything within 24 hours, you are never going to get anywhere. So you need to systems, technology, human capital. When I talk leverage, when I was at varsity, I was smart enough to bump into, or lucky enough to bump into somebody who was smarter than me, and that's my wife. And you know why she was smarter than me? She had the bursary. I didn't. I had entrepreneurial mindset, wanted to do more things, but I didn't know where to get my money. I was doing leaflet distribution. When I finished varsity, the first thing I did with my salary, I went and take student loan on my wife's head, now my girlfriend then. Went into Braamfontein, bought properties. You know what happens to student loans? You pay them after you have finished school, and the interest rate is prime-less. Right? So you take the money, you go and buy properties. You get rental income. By the time she's out, by the time we're 2 years ahead, we are ahead of our goals because we are not comparing ourselves with anyone. That leads me to concentrate on your goals. Mind your own business. Don't compare yourself with somebody else. It's okay to see stuff, but you set your own goals. Because you know what frustrating thing is? If you compare yourself with people, you are going to end up going crazy. Because you are never improving. Because you are not setting your own goals. That lady's goal, that guy's goal is your goal. And therefore you never get there. Because by the time you're there, they are 10 steps ahead. How to be content with your mind is to set your own goals, achieve your own goals. Success, as is defined, is the progressive realization of a worldly ideal. Your worldly ideal is your target, and that's your goal. So if you do not have targets in life, you will never make your first million. And you will never get to your destination in terms of well-being as a person, your own sanity, your well-being. You will never reach there because you are never happy. You are never content. You are never happy. You are not a whole human being because you don't know your purpose, you don't have your identity, and you don't have your targets. So you set your own goals. You do not compare yourself with the index. If you're an investor, you understand what I mean. So indexing means that that's what the market is saying to you. The market average is 10% or 6%. And therefore, if you haven't you invested your money, for example, Percy's put his money there, he's making 11%, you've put your money somewhere, you're making 6%, and you are disappointed because you are comparing yourself with an index. You need to compare yourself with yourself and have a time horizon, right? Risk tolerance. Once you know your risk tolerance, you have your time horizon, you will be able to say, I'm content with 2% because I want my money to be saved. I want to take that money after 5 years and do something else with that money, so I don't want to lose it. So if somebody comes to you and says, hey, listen to me, we've got 20% returns on this thing, you need to jump into it. You have your goal, you have your target, so you are not going to be persuaded to go and lose all your money because you are comparing yourself with yourself. The best analogy I can give is swimming. When you swim, you compare yourself with your time. The best swimmer or an athlete or whoever, the best swimmer is the guy that got the best time. And it's an individual thing. So you compare yourself with your time. That's very, very important. Because if you are not comparing yourself with your own self, if you are not setting targets, if you wake up in the morning and you do not know what you are going to do, you are not going to get to your first million. It's very important. Irrespective, you can sell water and still make $1 million. If you have your target and you know what the money, when it comes into your account, you should know what you are going to do with it. You need to copy smart investors or smart people ahead of you. But you must also be very careful comparing what they do with what you have to do, because you will end up selling or losing your seeds because they are harvesting and you are planting. So that's how you make your first million.
Be a legacy builder. Watch the next video and don't forget to subscribe.